Hello, welcome back to the Mix Academy. I'm David Glenn with the mixacademy.com, and today we're going to finish my mix of my man Clay Agnew, Fox Chase here on YouTube. Do It Again, a cover from Elevation Worship, and it's going to be an incredible time. If you missed the last video, I showcased my techniques, my strategies, the workflow for pumping the brakes, looking at a bird's eye view of the mix, coming up with a list, prioritizing it, and on and on. Check out that video. I'll link it above or definitely in the description. For this one, I'm going to put timestamps. I may even break this into a part 1, part 2, because I've got a handful of notes. I want to have some fun with automation. I've got lots of ideas. And basically, I've already taken some notes on fresh ears. I listened to the mix and made some of these have already been tweaked and check them off, but we're going to take this mix to the finish line together here on the channel, and I hope you guys are ready for it. Clay Agnew, Fox Chase, Do It Again, a cover. Again, just a beautiful track, and Clay's version, his voice is insane. You guys are in for a treat. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put timestamps for this one so that you guys can kind of dig through what do you want to learn. I'm going to hit play. We're going to listen to the full mix, but first, if you haven't already, if you find yourself dealing with average, poor, really poor recordings, and you're sent those by your clients or still learning to record, and you want to learn, hey, how can I step this up in the mix? We're going to help you with some recording advice very soon, but today I'm here to help you take those average or poor recordings and deliver great mixes. And so I've got a free guide. It's called Fix It in the Mix. Check it out, link in the description. Now let's get into the training. So we're going to hit play. Like I said, I'll put a timestamp, so if you don't want to listen to the whole song, you can fast forward, click ahead, but I am going to listen from the top, and we're just going to see what we get here, and I'll flip back and forth between my notes, maybe add some notes, and let's get it on.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet. Waiting for change to come, knowing the battle's won, but you have never failed me yet. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet. I know the night won't last. Your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again. Jesus, you're still enough. Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. Oh, your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet.
All right, sweet. So, I mean, I missed the last note but we listened to the whole thing. As you saw, I was taking notes. I had some creative ideas, some things that are important to hit. Some of these are going to be doubled up from what I did last night. But as I mentioned in my last video, talking about the technique, the strategy to take a mix to the finish line, today we're putting it into practice, practicing what I preach. Hopefully you guys dig it. I will do what I just did on headphones with fresh ears. That's super important. On earbuds, we've got I'll put a link maybe to the model. I got them on Amazon. Really great reviews, and was super impressed with them. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, whatever. But then the AirPods Pro, super surprised at how good these sound. I really enjoy listening to those. The noise cancellation's a blast when you got the kids running around. And so I will listen there. I used to go to the car, man, but since using a sub pack and Sonar works for the headphone calibration, we're on the road at the moment, traveling, kind of living the nomad life. So I'm mixing on cans, exclusively. I do prefer to mix on monitors and then check on cans and go back and forth. But like I said, traveling like that, I'm relying on the cans and loving it so far. So, so I'll listen on multiple playback devices. The laptop, I've got a MacBook Air, the M1 MacBook Air, and the speakers are great, a great reference. And then I have an iPad. Sometimes I pull that up and I listen. And then, of course, the phone. So multiple playback. You're going to hear some different things. You may hear that sibilance is a problem on one device where that top end's kind of like the low end trick where you filter out the bottom end, get rid of that, and you're referencing just top end. Now you're more focused. You may hear things listening there that you wouldn't otherwise. And so important to kind of mix it around. Don't be lazy. I struggle with it too sometimes, but again, we're giving you my all on this one. This mix, we want to do A+ mix here, deliver it to the client, and for you guys to see the full process. So let's get working. So now we have a list. Now I need to kind of prioritize that list. So maybe I'll speed ramp this and just kind of organize it. But I'm going to take a minute here, go through the notes, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're back, and as you can see, there were some notes I'd already addressed with fresh ears. Some things were redundant, and so I got rid of those, just checked them off. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to clear this baby out, so we're just looking at a clean slate, and now we'll see what we're getting done. Can you tell I'm a stickler for making sure the vocal is right? So we're going to hit the vocal with some clip gain. We're going to listen through, get all those lines up. There's some parts where I felt like emotionally it was a little dry and needed some reverb splash, so we'll automate some verb in. The breaths were distracting, so I'm really listening for emotional things and distractions. We want to remove the distractions and enhance the intended emotion of the song. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get to work. That vocal is not going to be a 2-minute thing, so definitely check out the timestamps if you want to follow along. I may break this into a 2-part, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long it takes to get this one wrapped up. So lead vocal down here, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of go section by section, and Control-Shift hyphen key on Mac is going to pull that up. What would Control be? Is that Windows key Shift for you PC guys? Hyphen is going to pull up in our clip gain, and now I'm going to go in and automate little bits of rasp into the vocal, ends of phrases that may dip out. We're going to take care of the vocal, really spend some time and make this pop. So here we go.
Walking around these walls, I thought by now they'd fall, but you have never failed me yet.
Okay.
Waiting for change to come.
A little bit of emotion in that. I don't want it to slip away. I'm going to pull just a hair. Nothing too crazy.
Change to come. Knowing the battle.
Now, before we continue on, it's important to know that clip gain is pre-insert in Pro Tools. Now, your other DAWs, you probably had this for forever. You probably had it before Pro Tools put it in. Clip gain will be pre-insert. So what I add or remove here in gain It's basically like automating a trim plugin or the gain before the insert. And so that's going to affect the signal going into our vocal chain. So if I drop this or I increase it, it's going to be sending more or less gain into the plugin chain. Important to know that. So, all right, let's get back to it.
Knowing the battle's won.
The battle's won. And I'm going to go to slip mode, so I'm not locked to that grid there. And I'll probably take up this whole line a little bit there.
The battle's won.
But that S was a little pronounced, and I don't want to hit the De-esser any harder. I've got a pretty good on that, so we're going to shrink that down a few dB. Just wanted you to hear the S a couple times. Yeah, that was a mistake. My bad.
The battle's won.
Way more natural.
But you have never.
Tell you what, we're getting a little spitty here, and I think, yep, a little spitty. Pull that back quite a bit. I think it's from how much top end. Clay has got some awesome top end. Check him out here on Facebook. Not even on Facebook, really. YouTube, Fox Chase. Link in the description for his socials. Go follow him. Show him some love for sharing the track with us here.
But you have never.
I could come down a little more.
But you have never.
Never. Telling you, man, we're gonna put in the work. We're gonna make sure everything is audible.
But you have never failed. But you have never failed me yet.
Yet kind of dipped off. Something like that is cool.
But you have never failed me yet. But you have never failed me yet.
Love it. Little reverb splash delay throw right there would be cool. Moving on.
Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness.
Little bit picky here, but not the S. I want to boost everything except that S, couple dB.
Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet.
Put a little bit of love to the ending phrase there so it doesn't die out.
Never failed me yet.
It looks kind of weird, but I'm telling you, it's important to get those phrases up.
Never failed me yet.
That was too much at the end. Just meet in the middle.
Never failed me yet.
A delay would be cool there. So, hey, put a note. I'm going to put it down a little bit further, but lead vocal delays. Delay throws. And then we'll say lead verb throws.
Never failed. I know the night won't last.
Won't. Kind of dropped off on us here. Last seemed fine.
I know the night won't last.
Pull that back a bit. Not getting the T either from his when he last. Not getting the T, but we know what he's saying.
Night won't last.
Actually, that might be it. I mean, this is getting really particular here, but if that's a T, let's see if we pull it forward a little bit.
Last.
Yeah, it's not, does not need to be up. And then actually, let's put that there so it doesn't come up more. Okay.
Your word will come to pass. My heart will sing your praise again.
Tell you what, the S's.
My heart will sing.
can see them little footballs in here.
Sing. Heart will sing you. Heart will sing you. Heart will sing your praise again.
Tell you what, this kind of peaked on me. And so we're going to put a couple little breakpoints in here. I'm going to pull this, just that peak back a little bit. Wasn't feeling that.
My heart will sing your praise again.
Still a little jumpy. Pull it back a little more.
My heart will sing your praise again.
It's that second half of it also. Praise.
My heart will sing your praise again.
Tell you what, that right there, I'm gonna put it on its own track. Duplicate. Everything. And then I'm gonna get rid of. We'll mute it in case we come back to it, but I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I didn't mean to do that. So we don't want the active playlist. We just want this guy right here. Let's go ahead and cut it. Cut it, move it there, unmute it again. All right, now I'm going to boost the signal, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put a reverb on the track. Now, this is going through my parallel. This is kind of the lazy way. Really, I should automate this on the lead vocal level, but not going to do that. Let's see what we get. Let's put this through the processing. So this is going to be reverb, and with this whole mix, I did nothing but Slate Digital All Access Pass plugins. And so if you see me go for Slate this entire video, then that's why. We made this available as part of an all access bundle. Because we didn't finish the mix, I'm considering maybe check out the link if it's open. Check it out, but we'll see. It may be closed, but because we didn't finish the mix, I want to make sure that those of you who want to can have an opportunity to get in on that. So we'll see. But let's put a reverb, and I'm going to go. Ooh, this Liquid Sonics has been great. We're going to go mono to stereo. And we want something, let's check out a preset. Let's go for maybe a strings, because sometimes we'll get a long, luscious. When you have a preset named luscious, how can you not choose it? I'm going to increase the damper. We got, don't need pre-delay. Maybe a little bit of pre-delay, just a little bit. I love me some good modulation. It's cranked. I can already tell I'm going to love this. So we're going to put that on just this track, and then we'll freeze it so it doesn't bog us down here. But let's see what that gives us. And I tell you what, I don't want it 100% wet. This is not on a send. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to pull this back-ish. Let's see what that sounds like. That is not at all what I'm going for here. You know what I am going for? I know what I'm going for. The Ice House. So let's turn that off. I'm going to get rid of it. Not feeling it for that. We're going to go to the Ice House, which if you haven't seen here on the channel, I left it up. The creating of this mix template with only Slate plugins. I did a whole video, 2-part series, creating it, swapping out my third-party plugins for only the Slate All Access Pass. And I got to admit, there's some that I'm probably going to go back and integrate back into my mix session, but not many, only a few. I've really enjoyed the workflow. It's been a blast. And yeah, so here we go. This is the Ice House. Let's just crank it in there. Okay, so that's cool, but it's not what I'm going for. I didn't have this planned, but I remember doing the video on the Murder Melodies featuring Clay's voice here. And let's see if it crashes. No, we're good. Whew. Good. I'm going to spread it, and I'm going to hit it with this icy, quite a bit of this icy reverb thingy. I'm going to do the delay here. And then what we could probably do is pull down certain lines throughout the song to this track and let it live here. Let's see what this sounds like. It needs less top end. Okay. Didn't really do much. Let's see. How does it feel in context?
Sing your praise again.
You know, it didn't work out for me there, so we're going to get rid of it. And I think, honestly, I think the reason why is because I'm being lazy. So let's not be lazy. Let's take, and we have this. We don't even need to put it on its own track. Let's go. We got a lot to do. Let's move on. So reverb, lustrous, ice house. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to automate this guy up. And let's try it. Now, I know that was too much, but what we're going to do is set that to pre. No, we're not, because that's affecting the whole vocal. What we're going to do is we're going to come down here and drop the level. No, we can't do that either. Okay, we're undoing the automation. Put this back in read. And we're going to give this guy its own track. So instead of coming here and going to the parallel, we're going to just send this to the all vocals, and we're going to treat it as its own track. So we're going to call it lead verb throws. And for my OCD here. Okay, so now this is not going to, actually it still is, but we don't necessarily need it to. Let's see. Yeah, let's set our gain staging. Cool, and then we're gonna go on the track with the Verb Suite Classic. Actually, we might, now we can apply, the Ice House is the right reverb. I dig that. I may use another one for a little more mids, but...
Jesus, you're still...
Okay, so we've got a little more verb there. I'm going to go to the sunset chamber. We're going to layer some verbs. It's on through here. Bam, sunset chamber. Let's see what this sounds like. So I like the verb level. Now I'm going to use pre-fader so that the verb stays the same, but then I can control. I think I'm going to pull back the dry. A little less. And let's go back to that Murda. Process this guy a little bit more, spending a bit too much time on this. We got to be focused. I'm breaking my own rule here, but let's see what this icy gives us. A little saturation and this delay. Clarity, I don't think we need. If anything, we need some of this. Or high cut it, so high low pass, and then add some clarity. Maybe not quite as much. And then the beauty of it being on its own track, we're going to go ahead and EQ into the Murda melodies. And I think we're going to pull forward kind of a telephone effect. We'll just kind of boost some frequencies. And we'll go here again, maybe a little bit right there, a little tighter, kind of get a thing going here. And then I'm thinking a little less of this. And I want that to shift. I like that top band there, but I'm going to come down and something like that. And is it this? Too much of that. So I'm going to move that, shift it down a little lower. Too much lower mid-ish. Perfect. And then a little less of the ice right there. And then amount, let's try 50%. Something like that. Maybe spread it a bit. I'm not in love with it, but we got to move on. If you're not familiar, Tony Maserati, him and his team, they have a 10-minute rule. I think I may have exceeded that on this. So we're going to go ahead and take that advice and move on. So back to, well, we got to get rid of all that. Yep. Okay. So we have our little lead track. We'll mess with it later. Let's move on and get the vocal on top.
Jesus, you're still enough. Jesus, you're still.
Whoop. There we go. We're going to pull those S's back.
Jesus, you're still enough.
A little bit on G. A little.
Jesus, you're still enough.
That fall off there. It's important. Let's get that in. Pull that up. I wonder how many of you guys are still... Drop a like if you're still with me, following every little step here. If you skipped ahead, timestamps. I almost want to put a little Easter egg here, a little goodie. If you're still watching right now, oh man, my assistant will kill me. Email us, support@themixacademy.com. I did it. If you're watching right now, you're following every little thing that I'm doing here on the vocal. I'm gonna hook you up with a little something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll make it good. And let me clarify, I probably should say the first 50 people to email me because it'll get a little crazy. So if you're watching this back weeks, months later, probably over. All right, moving on.
Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. My heart will sing your praise again.
I don't know if it'll work, but let's try it. A little crescendo here for the end of that phrase.
Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness.
Stands, but not the S. And the start of it.
Still stands. Great is your faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet. You've never. You've never. You've never failed me yet. Never failed me yet.
This whole section there before he goes up top. Get that up in the mix.
You've never failed me yet.
Me. I hope I'm not discouraging. I mean, you could hit it. I've hit it with a lot of compression. So if you're thinking, hey, why doesn't he just hit it with quite a bit of compression? But I love this workflow. Go through, get it compressed pretty hard, but then go back and make sure everything sits on top.
You've never failed me yet. You've never failed me. You've never failed me.
Failed me. I mean, let's just go more.
You've never failed me yet.
Still dropping off on me.
You've never failed me yet.
So if you're thinking like he's clipping, you hold Option and move your scroll wheel. I use a magic trackpad. Just take 2 fingers and go left, right. You can increase and decrease the waveform in Pro Tools, or come up here and you can click. Don't get freaked out by the it's not over. It's just yeah. Failed me is just disappearing. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go a little AudioSuite EQ. We're gonna go to our Infinity EQ, Inf EQ, and here I'm feeling we need more of this stuff on just that phrase. I think kind of wide and somewhere in here like 4 dB. I'm gonna render that. If that was too much, we'll see. Back up. Dig it. That worked, but I want a little more up here now, somewhere in here. And we're going to do the same thing. And let's see how that feels. See, that was way too much. So we're going to undo that. But how awesome was it that it came through? So we're going to pull that back quite a bit and just give it a kiss of kind of 2K there. And I don't want it on the so we're going to pull back and do a little something like that. I don't know that we need it, but let's just... something like that. We're going to do a delay verb throw there for sure. It's an obvious place to do it. I've seen you move. Where did he come from? Now, in case you're not familiar with Pro Tools, this EQ that I had right here is not, it's not on the track right now. That's an AudioSuite plugin. So Logic, Studio, you guys all have it in your DAWs. You've been bragging about it for you. We've had this for years too, but you guys have had a whole lot of stuff that we still don't. So I'm a little bitter. But so I'm going to put that away. That is not on the track. It's just you select it, render. Cool. Moving on. So let's see. This jumps. So it doesn't look like it would, but it's jumping. I almost wonder if this is. I've got a double. Where let's see. What is this? No. So. I've seen you move. Must just be because he's in that upper register. Maybe a slightly different mic position. But I feel like we need to tame a little bit of that. I've seen you move the mountains. And it's just on this phrase. I've seen you move. And it's not really on move. So just this first little section right here, I'm going to go back to the AudioSuite plugin. And you could do a multi-band, but this is the only phrase that just really stood out to me. It's kind of that 5K range here. I'm going to give you a little... Oh, well, you can't do that when it's an AudioSuite, but I'm confident that it's going to be quite a bit in there, at least 2 or 3 dB. And is it still selected? Yes. We're going to render that. Bam. Let's check it. I've seen you move. Look at that. So here's before. I've seen you. The breath, the accent coming in. It's just a little bit too much of that upper mid-range. So one more time with it. I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you. And then with it back. I've seen you. I've seen you. So much warmer, right? Right on. I dig it. Hope you do too. Moving on. Let's see what else we got. You move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you. I think this. You move the mountains. Mountains, a little peak on it. Not digging that. Gonna pull that back. Didn't mean for this to be just a video on vocal automation, but see, that's what I was saying. Maybe we hit the vocals now, and then we'll make it a part 2 for the rest of the stuff. And I believe you can't even hear that. So bam, this guy's coming up big time. Might not need that much. You move the mountains, and I believe. Yeah, definitely not. And it had that thing to it. So I'm putting in the work. I told you guys I wasn't going to be lazy. I'm kind of regretting that. There's a lot of little tweaks here, but no, I'm just kidding. So we'll pull some of this back again right in there for that one. I think we need a little more for that one. 3 dB. Just going on instinct here. We'll put it away. Confidence.
Mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way.
Pull you up a little bit.
Do it again. You made a way when there was no way, and I believe when there was no way, and I believe no way, and I believe I'll see you do it again. I've seen you move the mountains, and
Mountains.
you move the mountains, and I believe I'll see you do it again. You made a way.
You.
You do it again. You made a way when there was no.
Didn't even hear that.
When there was no.
You heard the doubles on the sides.
When there was no way.
Yeah, and then now we're going to pull that whole phrase up together a little bit.
I'll see you do it again. You made a way when there was no way.
I like its level, but it's sitting just a hair above this now. So we're going to pull this guy up. Oh, not that much. Just a little bit.
When there was no way, and I believe, and I believe I'll see you do it again. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness. Your promise still stands. Great.
Okay, so I'm hearing way too many S's. De-ess manually needs to be a note.
Still stands. Great is your faithfulness.
I tell you what, it's actually probably not even necessary to de-ess manually because they're pretty pronounced. Let's go. Did I not de-ess this vocal? Okay. So we have two choices. We'll go Eiosis. We're gonna go with the one. Eiosis De-Esser. I mean, this may even just do the trick.
Still stands. Great is your faithfulness.
That's too much, so we're gonna come back a little bit and pull the.
Still stand. I'll see you do it again. Your promise still stands.
Your promise still stands. So how I like to de-ess, a cool little teaching moment here.
I'll see you do it again. Your promise still stands.
Promise still stands. I'm gonna loop that, and I'm gonna set the de-esser while I'm looping, and that's still your promise still stands. That's like 3 or 4. Can't count, but 3 or 4 S's right there in a row. So good phrase to loop and dial in the de-esser.
Promise still stands. 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 Promise still stands.
Yeah, so a little smoother. I like the smooth. I think it's like a clipping feature. The dry wet, you can hear when I cranked it, gave him a lisp. We don't want that. So I think we're at a happy medium right now.
Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. Faithful. Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness. I'm still in your hands.
this whole phrase up a little bit, but especially.
Great is your faithfulness, faithfulness.
It's good now.
I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet. I'm still in your hands.
Again, this is getting hit with quite a bit of compression, so we're just massaging it.
I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never.
Whoop.
This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet. Confidence. You've never failed me yet. Failed me yet.
A little bit of a thing here.
You've never failed me yet. You've never failed me yet. You've never failed me yet. You've never.
It's got to do it again. That crescendo felt too good. Pull up quite a bit on this one right before the end. Might be too much. We'll see. That whole phrase, and I think we're done. Pull up youth. And this stuff, we still got the drums cracking, so. Failed me. Back to our. I'll tell you what, if you hold Command, I think it is, AudioSuite EQ, we're going to go through our Infinity EQ. Now it's going to add it to here, and we won't have to search for it. I mean, it saved us like 5 milliseconds of scrolling, but this one, I think I want a little more of that 2K to pull it out. Not too much. We don't want it to be distracting, but I'm going to make it kind of wide, and then I'm going to dip just a hair here at just above 5K or so, just to make sure I don't enhance that. Render, close. How's that for confidence? Let's see. I think this section needed it more, but what I'm going to do is just use volume and control that. Need more me, yeah. And a crescendo. You've never now needs to come up a bit. Much better. Man, I appreciate you guys sticking with me if you did. I'm going to put the timestamp. I don't know, Tiki, if you're watching, put the timestamp just before that so that I can tell everyone that who watched the length of the clip gain section there they got a little chance at winning something. But all right, so look at that. So we got clip gain. That vocal is just, man, it makes me happy. As Dave Pensato used to say, it just makes me happy. So we've got that thing sitting on top. We added some character. Hopefully you guys dig the automation there with rendering the audio suite. I think that we can safely check that node off. We'll keep an ear out, maybe make some tweaks, but bam. Took care of the stuff that's the emotion, the most important stuff. We prioritized our list and we're knocking it out. It took way too long, but now it was worth it. I think it was worth it at least. Falsetto in verse 2 needs verb splash. Where is verse 2? This is where having those markers would have helped, but I didn't put them in. I usually don't put markers except for a song start and a song, the end, for setting my fades at the end. But this is one of those moments. So falsetto in verse 2. So verse 1 is the beginning here.
But you have never.
There's a glitch going on right there.
But you have never.
So this has happened before, but I don't know that that's.
But you have.
I'm gonna put one there.
But you have never.
I think that's in his voice.
But you have never. But you have never.
But you have never has got a glitch in it. It may be from the clip gain. I know that it's possible that the clip gain could create an artifact, but that's the first time I've actually heard it that audible.
But you have never.
So, but you have never. Let's put a little marker so we know where we're at.
I thought by now, you have never.
I don't think he says that.
The battle's greatest.
Nope. So I was thinking maybe he said that line again. I think we got to do something about it.
But you have never.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Is it here? Or is it all of this? It's that first section there. So here's what we're gonna do. AudioSuite, and we're gonna take out. Let's preview it. Look at that. I think it's these right in here. We're gonna make it tight and pull something like that out. Render. Just a hint of a crossfade. I don't know that we need it.
But you have never.
Didn't do it. Okay. Let me try something. Let me try clearing the clip gain from this little section here. Is that going to change? I want to see the wide view to make sure it doesn't change anything else. So right click. Clear. Clip gain clear. Now let's see.
But you have never.
What did I do? Okay. So we got something to fix here. Let's knock it out. Put the microphone where you guys can hear me. I'm gonna take these breakpoints out and see what happens.
But you have never.
Yeah, that was it. Okay.
But you have never.
I caught the end of that, and it made for a very unnatural artifact.
But you have never.
Trying to pull that breath down, and I created a problem.
But you have never.
Yeah, see? It continues on. The sustain of that that is extending. So, all right. So we'll put it back, and then...
But you have never. But you have never failed me yet. You have never failed. But you have never failed. But you have never.
Yep, happened again.
But you have never.
So, oh yeah. What was I thinking there? So I'm getting a little carried away with it. So we're going to go ahead and just treat that whole... No, I don't want to do that. So we need to move our, let me fix this real quick. So we're going to get rid of you, and we're going to put you like here and dip you down back to normal.
Never failed me.
And we'll do it like right here.
Never failed me.
Perfect. Okay, so we got rid of the artifacts. We dealt with that. Moving on. Now we got to find verse 2. Falsetto in verse 2 needs verb splash.
You promised.
I think that's out here.
I know the night won't. Your word won't come to.
Yep. Oh, we did it. I think we chill out that. I like that better. I don't like the whistly thing, but I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Remove breaths or lower in the BGVs, second verse. BGVs, which is here.
I know the night won't last.
For that, I need to free up some processing. I tell you, I'm going to come back to that. You guys know what I'm going to do there. I'm going to remove the breaths. BGVs harms up in the second chorus. So we already hit this first chorus. Let's come out here to.
Keep me within your.
That's so distracting. Let's unfreeze it. Let's address those breaths real quick. And I'm going to give a little more waveform. Again, fear not, it is not over. No overs there.
Keep me within your.
Just going to pull those down a little bit. You still get them.
Keep me within your love.
This right here needs to come up.
Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. Oh, you promised that.
That's where it was, and go figure. I think we're good with our lead vocal. We'll probably do some more love to that, but for now, I tell you what, I'm gonna take a quick moment to freeze this. All right, sweet, we're back, and we're gonna go ahead and
Keep me within your love. My heart will sing your praise again. Oh.
that's right, it was here. Bam, all this is just way too low. Let's see where.
Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness.
I think everything needs to come up a little bit. Maybe even 2.5 dB or so. But then this stuff at the beginning needs to come up substantially more. So another 2 or 3 dB.
Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness. Faithfulness. I'm still in your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me yet.
So that never failed me yet needs to come up. Is that here? Nope, it's here. I remember that. So let's select that. We need to unfreeze these tracks. That'll only take a second. And then lots of clip gain.
Never failed me yet.
Lots more clip gain.
Never failed me yet.
There is just so much going on there. I think I'm going to have to look at that a different way. But let's go ahead. Lead, vocal throws, verb throws, de-ess manually. I think we handled that with not de-essing manually. We did a little bit of both. Never failed me yet. That's what we just said. My heart will sing your praise again. Vocal peaks a bit. We tamed that with the clip gain. 128 is a falsetto line that needs to be very and sweet. Too boring right now. Autocorrect must have changed me there. I don't even know what I'm talking about. 128. Let's go look at that. 128 is probably a lead vocal line that needs a little more love. So 128 would be...
My heart will sing your praise again.
Yeah, okay. Well, we hit that one too, so bam. That was a redundant note. The O's and Yas in halftime need more verb. That is for sure. Let's come out here. Not the choir. I think it might be...
I've seen you move. I've seen...
I don't know why my smart tool is not being... Oh, that's not a stereo.
Your hands. This is my confidence. You've never failed me.
These guys here. So BGV 1 through 3. And we're going to zoom in. I think we need all of these right here. Let's see what that does.
And I believe I'll see you do it again. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness.
So let's go into Clay BGs. So here's what we don't want to do. We don't want this, the stuff we need articulation in, to be swapped in reverb. So these BGVs here, I'm going to go ahead and send them individually to a little bit of a brighter verb. Actually, no, I'm going to send them to Ice House first. Probably a healthy amount. We'll just option click and drag that down. So what's on each of those now?
I'll see you do it again. Your promise still stands. Great is your faithfulness.
Okay, so it's a little tricky. This is going to my Ice House reverb. I need to EQ it, but this isn't the only thing going in there. So I got to be careful what I do, but I think it's this kind of 1K thing. We got to...
I'll see you do it.
Uh-oh, got a Pro Tools error. Let me see, a good time to show off. This guy saves me from time to time. No guarantee that it will this time. And I can't promise we're going to do much editing. I'm going to edit a couple parts out, but for the sake of getting this up and whatnot, we'll make sure we do have the timestamp so you guys can jump around if you want to. We're going to see if we can free up some memory. I may need to put a break in this video. The computer is quite hot. I don't think freeing this up or just muting or making things inactive is going to do it for us. So running the video recording and all that, it kind of takes a load on the computer. Even though it is an M1, it's a beast. Pro Tools is still using Rosetta to run, so, and the plugins and all that. Who knows what the heck. So, all right, so we freed up some RAM. What is that called again, the app? Memory Clean 3. Seems to work for me. Those of you guys who are more tech savvy than I am will probably argue that it's effective or not, but it seems to work for me. So we'll... Okay, so we pulled back in that reverb. I think we move on from that and give the computer a minute here. Lead vocal delays, O's, yes. I think I'm going to do the vocal automation in a separate video. We got that. The snare automation, I think we're going to do that in a separate video. Maybe we do some automation in the next video. Drum fill, automation, and then a couple of these. I'll tell you what, this is a good point. Let's break this one up. We're going to move into a part 2. Might even be a part 3 for mix notes. But as you can see, the things that I took the most time on, I mean, we've been going for over an hour now. They were very important. So it's not that you make a list and prioritize it, and it's only going to be 5 minutes to finish a mix. But now that vocal, like I know, I'm confident that I'm sending the client my best effort to get that vocal in the mix and to deliver on a great mix. So moving on, hope you guys appreciate this video. Drop me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely check out the Fix It in the Mix guide in the description below, along with those other links. Show Fox Chase some love for sharing the tracks with us, and we'll see you in the next video.